Welcome to Geek Fandom Media. I'm your host, Chris, and you guys, we're talking a bunch of Marvel Studios today. In today's video, I am excited. We got a potential new release date slated for 2028. I wonder what film that could be. Now, you guys, right off the back, let's jump into it. Jake Schreier, you guys remember that report about a month ago about how he was in talks to potentially direct the brand new X-Men film for Marvel Studios? Well, you guys, apparently it's true. Jake Schreier, the director of Thunderbolts, is going to be directing the X-Men reboot for Marvel Studios post-Avengers Secret Wars, because we want to wait until this multiverse saga is done to completely recast the X-Men. That's what I'm really interested in, because we're about to witness peak X-Men in Avengers Doomsday in Secret Wars. Like, that's real talk, you guys. The fact that, Channing Tatum's coming back as Gambit, Alan Cumming, as Nightcrawler, Ian McKellen as Magneto, Patrick Stewart as Professor X. We're going to get the most authentic X-Men feel, closest probably to the comic books and the animated X-Men series, you guys. It is going to be absolutely insanity. So to me, when the way I think about it, what we're truly about to experience, with these beloved X-Men characters that we've known for 25 years, you guys, Marvel Studios is going to do something with them we have yet to see before. Just like, with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in Deadpool and Wolverine. We've never seen Hugh Jackman and that version of Wolverine fight like he did with the iconic suit from the comic books. For the multiple variants, Marvel's taking it to the next level. So the fact that we probably get to see Cyclops in his OG blue and yellow suit in Avengers Doomsday is going to be wild to me, you guys. Who knows? Ian McKellen's Magneto might have the long white hair. I'm telling you guys, the X-Men in these next two films are about to be peak. So I'm like, how do you top that? They're going to give us some awesome moments, you guys. We're probably going to see Alan Cumming's Nightcrawler, in full-blown costume, the red and all. How are they going to, I was like, how are they going to top the White House scene in X2? Because that was dope. But apparently, you guys, rumor has it, he's going to be using his swords in Avengers Doomsday. I'm like, oh, you guys are truly embracing the comic books. I am so stoked to see my beloved X-Men return, you guys, because you have to think about it. There was a point in time where that's all we had were X-Men movies for Marvel. It was X-Men and Spider-Man. And then eventually, the Fantastic Four came, before that we had Blade, but X-Men was like the biggest thing, X-Men and Spider-Man. So I am so stoked. So Jake Schreier directing this brand new reboot of the X-Men post, Secret Wars. It's going to be a struggle, but no doubt in my mind, I think that, he's the perfect choice. I love what he did with Thunderbolts, the character development, the character arcs, the seriousness of it all. That's what we're going to need when we're talking, the mutants and, that version of the X-Men moving forward. So I think it's perfect. It's perfect casting, you guys. Now, as far as the potential villain for the X-Men film, a lot of people are speculating, it's possibly going to be Mr. Sinister. I don't know who it's going to be, but I honestly do believe that anything that they've already touched on prior to the X-Men films, they're going to do something different. But I did hear we're going to be getting Sentinels in Avengers Doomsday, which I cannot wait, especially if they're the iconic Sentinels from the comic books, you guys, and the X-Men, 90s animated series. We are going to be eating good, you guys. Damn, I can't wait. And they're obviously going to go for a much younger core for the X-Men moving forward, because like I said, these older actors, they're not going to be playing these characters forever. I mean, possibly Channing Tatum, that's a strong possibility, or even Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. I know a couple of months ago that there were reports that he was truly going to play this character till he was 90. But honestly, Wolverine's not going to be the main vocal point of the X-Men moving forward. It's going to be, Cyclops, Jean, Professor X, the other characters of the X-Men that always got sidelined. Give my boy Cyclops his respect, and we are going to get that. We're going to get that in Avengers Doomsday, you guys. And I cannot wait. Oh, it's going to be so epic. So, yes, you guys, Jake Schreier is going to be directing X-Men for Marvel Studios. That could possibly release in 2028. Also, you guys, Blade is reportedly still in the works at Marvel Studios. Yes, you guys, we're actually still talking about Blade damn near 6 years later. There's not much to talk about it. I'll believe it when I see it. They probably already have a finished script or whatever. They probably have somebody in mind to actually direct this film. I have no idea. They've lost many directors. They've lost writers. No idea what's happening. Hell, at this point, give Ryan Coogler Blade, baby, and have Michael B. Jordan play Blade. He did a wonderful job, playing Stack and Smoke. I loved, Sinners, so good, so freaking good. But you know what's even crazier? The original writer for Blade actually, kind of crapped on Marvel Studios about Blade. This is what he had to say. He said he's baffled by the direction from the reboot. He's baffled. He's like, Blade is relatively a simple story. It should have insane ass kicking. It should be pretty scary and might be R-rated. It's not that complicated. Even the original writer is stating it. What I think one of the issues is having Mahershala Ali on board. And what my biggest issue is with these comic book films, they are still trying to thrive to be an award-winning comic book movie. F all of that. I don't care if it doesn't need, an Academy Award for validation. Make a good comic book movie that will service your fans. Why are you trying to service the Academy? Like, it makes no sense. And having somebody like Mahershala Ali, he was never satisfied with the script. And that's where I'm fearing a little bit, because they want Blade to be, an Academy Award-winning film. Well, Blade will never be an Academy Award-winning film, ever. I don't care how good the script is. I don't care how great the directing is. That's just not happening, you guys. Comic book films are so always overlooked at, the award ceremony. With Black Panther winning, best score, hair and makeup and set designs, or Joker winning best picture with Joaquin Phoenix. Joker was a little bit more of a comic book adaptation. It was more of a film, if that makes any kind of sense to you guys. So I don't know what's happening with Blade, but it's still in the works, you guys. But also, Daniel RPK, he made a report, or, a scoop last week that, Marvel Studios is still, they're green lighting or fast tracking a Midnight Suns project, and Ghost Rider is going to be the lead of that movie. Well, I'm like, just do that. Have Blade appear in, the Midnight Suns project and do a massive supernatural, big, epic, horror R-rated film. That's where you go with these supernatural characters, Not every character needs their solo film, But I'm not saying I don't want a Blade solo film, because I still do. I mean, Wesley Snipes' original Blade, to this day, is one of my favorite comic book films. But if they're going to, fast track, a Midnight Suns project, then by all means, have all these characters show up and make it so epic and so gory and so scary. Why not? Marvel has to do something drastically different. They have to. They have to be able to adapt to the times. That's nothing but the facts, you guys. Moving on, you guys, an untitled Marvel movie has been slated for December 15th, 2028. Ooh, interesting. So we have Black Panther 3, that could be a possibility, moving from its February release date, which would be weird. Thor 5, Doctor Strange 3, Blade, X-Men, Shang-Chi 2, and the Young Avengers. And there could be a Fantastic Four sequel in the works, you guys. That's being reported as well. Now, as we don't know how well Fantastic Four is going to do at the box office, but I do believe that the Fantastic Four are going to play a pivotal role in the MCU moving forward. And I would love to see a sequel set in modern times with this core group of characters, with modernized suits in the world, and, the lingo, and how they're going to, be so different from, being in the 60s in their own universe. That's going to be quite fascinating to me, to see how they're going to transition over into a brand new modern world. Because essentially that's what it is. They're like, what? What kind of language? Like, what are all these hip people? Like, it's going to be so cool. I can't wait. But if they are going to be working on a Fantastic Four sequel, then, it's definitely going to be absolutely massive. And I hope that Matt Shakman does return to direct possibly a trilogy for the Fantastic Four. But like I said, you guys, December 15th, 2028, we do not know what is going to be slated. And some people are speculating that Avengers Secret Wars could be split up into 2 movies, because Secret Wars comes out December 17th, 2027. And if it's that big of a movie, they need to split it up and take a year difference, then by all means, a year apart. That's a strong possibility. But I don't know how Marvel feels about doing 3 Avengers films. That just seems a little bit too much. But who knows what's happening, you guys. I'm still excited for the future of the MCU. I think it's very bright. It's, very, very hopeful, now that they're kind of doing this restructured phase and they're taking this shit so much more serious. But it still kind of worries me that Bob Iger's not happy with the, the theatrical release dates of 2026, 2027. He needs some more movies. But I'm like, bro, weren't you just talking about quantity over quality, or quality over quantity? Like, you make no sense. Like, focus on the work at hand. And also, you guys, Marvel Studios assembled on Disney Plus. So whenever they release their film on Disney Plus, like a month or two after, they drop the assembled. And that's pretty much the behind the scenes, the special features of that particular project. That's scrapped. That's done. I'm like, what? I enjoyed those. I love filmmaking. I love filmmaking. So seeing all the behind the scenes goodness, how they make certain things, or how they're handling the story or costume, set designs, the music. I love seeing all that stuff. That stuff is quite fascinating to me. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm still gonna buy it on Blu-ray, and those special features better be packed out. I don't know why they're canceling it. It makes no sense. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, Marvel. What are you doing? What are you doing, Marvel? But there you guys have it. Those are the small little goodie updates and discussions on today's video. Jake Schreier becoming the next X-Men director for Marvel Studios. Blade's still in the works. Midnight Suns 2. An untitled Marvel film slated for December of 2028. A sequel to Fantastic Four could happen. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Thoughts and opinions. And of course, thank you guys for taking time out of your day for watching Deep Fandom Media. Peace.